These rides were built to thrill but ended in horror. From a gentle giant named Tyre Sampson, who was launched over 400 feet into the air, to a waterslide that literally decapitated a 10-year-old boy in front of horrified witnesses. These aren't your average amusement park mishaps. There are 15 real-life cases where excitement spiraled into disaster. And you'll be stunned when you see.
It's a theme park tragedy. It happened overnight. We mentioned this at the top of the show. At least 4 people were killed in Australia when a popular ride malfunctioned.
Number 15. Fall from amusement park ride. March 24th, 2022. Spring break at Icon Park in Orlando, Florida. 14-year-old Tyre Sampson wanted to ride the world's tallest drop tower of the Orlando Free Fall. Over 400 feet of sheer fall. But Tyre weighed over 360 pounds, far above the ride's weight limit. And instead of turning him away, workers allegedly changed the safety sensors. Illegally. The harness opened twice as wide, but still flashed green.
Hey, you check your seatbelt on the left side. Seatbelt.
Nope.
Seatbelt.
Safe, according to the system. But it wasn't. As the ride reached the top and dropped, Tyre slipped through the loose harness and fell to his death. The impact was devastating. The aftermath was worse.
A 14-year-old died after falling from a ride at Icon Park.
A technician had warned management 2 months earlier. Cracks, overheating, unsafe sensors. He was ignored. After Tyre's death, they asked him to fake documents. He refused and was fired. In December 2024, a jury awarded the family over $300 million. Florida passed the Tyre Sampson Act. Extra harnesses, inspections, reporting. But none of that changed what happened. Tyre's friends called him the gentle giant, a son, a teammate, gone because someone silenced the warnings. And sadly, he wasn't the only one to fall. Number 14. Lagoon Sky Ride. August 14th, 2021. Lagoon, Amusement Park, Utah. A man boarded the Sky Ride, a slow-moving chairlift gliding peacefully above the park. But suddenly, people saw him hanging from it. Not yelling, not panicking, just hanging. Fingers clutched the safety bar, legs swung. Then, he let go. He fell nearly 50 feet, right in front of stunned witnesses.
A viewer sent us video of the moments just before the man fell about 50 feet to the ground. It's disturbing to watch.
He was airlifted to the hospital in Salt Lake City, but died the next day. The ride still operated normally. The park insisted nothing malfunctioned. Police launched an investigation, but no clear answers surfaced. Accident? Intentional act? No one knew for sure. Reddit lit up. Some said might have been drunk, trying to show off by doing pull-ups. Others thought it looked deliberate. The safety bar did not lock, and that was all it took. The man never tried to climb back in. No screams, no struggle, just silence.
Farmington police say a man is in critical condition after falling from a ride at Lagoon Theme Park.
Since 1974, the Sky Ride had never had a fatal accident. Until that day. Number 13. Fire at Taiwan Water Park. June 27, 2015, New Taipei City, Taiwan. Formosa Fun Coast Water Park. Thousands of people danced in a drained swimming pool during a summer event called Color Play Asia. Colored powder, cornstarch, was blasted into the crowd as music blared under hot stage lights.
Whoa, 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 whoa! Show me now, whoa, whoa, whoa!
Then it ignited. A massive fireball tore through the crowd in 40 seconds. 15 people lost their lives. Nearly 500 burned. Young students, teenagers, some burned over 90% of their bodies. The scene was chaotic. People jumped into the water to extinguish flames. Others were carried on inflatable tubes. The pool was empty, but horror overflowed.
Just a horrible story here. A night of fun at a water park turned into complete chaos for hundreds of people.
Investigators determined it wasn't an explosion. It was a dust fire. Cornstarch powder, too dense in the air, sparked by heat. No fire suppression, no emergency plan, just negligence. The organizer, Lu Chung-chi, was sentenced to 5 years for criminal negligence. Number 12. Amusement park ride in Saudi Arabia snaps mid-air. July 31st, 2025. Taif, Saudi Arabia. The 360 big pendulum swung riders into the sky, a massive arm tossing humans into arcs of adrenaline, until it snapped. Mid-swing, the central support beam broke in half. The ride collapsed. 23 people were injured, 3 of them critically. Those inside were slammed, whipped, tossed. Parts of the ride broke free, flying into bystanders. The sound was described as a gunshot, a metallic crack echoing through the air. Emergency teams from the Saudi Red Crescent flooded in. Local hospitals went into code yellow mode. Mass trauma response. The governor ordered the park shut down. An investigation was launched, but the damage was already done. What went wrong? Who approved that ride? Was it inspected? Maintained? Nobody had answers yet. But one thing was clear. The pendulum wasn't just swinging riders, it was dangling them over disaster. And the ride finally let go. Number 11. Six Flags over Texas after roller coaster accident. July 19, 2013. Arlington, Texas. Six Flags over Texas. The Texas Giant, a steel hybrid monster with a 79-degree drop. 52-year-old Rosa Ayala Goana, weighing over 200 pounds, climbed aboard. As she sat down, her lap bar only clicked once. She asked a ride attendant if that was okay. The worker shrugged it off, told her, "If you heard a click, it's fine." It wasn't. As the coaster crested the first massive hill and plunged downward, Rosa was ejected from her seat. Witnesses saw her body soar. She slammed into a tunnel roof beneath the tracks, found tangled around a steel beam. The autopsy was brutal. Catastrophic torso trauma. Six Flags claimed the hydraulic restraint system functioned correctly. Experts agreed. Mechanically, the lap bar didn't fail. But clearly, given her size, something did go wrong. Her seat wasn't secure. Her concerns weren't taken seriously. The system said yes, but reality said no. After the accident, Six Flags added seat belts, redesigned lap pads, and built a tester's seat outside the queue. But Rosa's ride ended in a fall no one should ever witness. Number 10. The deadly shock of the cosmonaut Chaos rocket. In 2010, at Divo Ostrov Amusement Park in St. Petersburg, Russia, a ride called the Rocket turned terrifying. It was designed to mimic a space launch. 10 riders strapped into a giant rocket, spun and lifted nearly 200 feet into the air, until one cable suddenly snapped. The entire group was left dangling, midair from just one remaining cable. Swinging, swaying, stuck. There was no quick fix. Emergency crews scrambled to respond, and it took over an hour to get everyone safely back to the ground. Miraculously, no one was injured. But the fear? Unmatched. Investigators believed the day's scorching heat may have weakened the metal cable, triggering the failure. But with no injuries, the ride's brief nightmare stayed mostly off the global radar. The rocket was shut down for repairs, then quietly reopened later that year. But for the 10 riders left hanging between Earth and sky, those minutes lasted a lifetime. Number 9. Smiler Tragic Collision. May 30th, 1972. London, Battersea Park. The Big Dipper was supposed to be a classic, a wooden coaster from another time. But time had taken its toll. That day, 3 cars began the climb up the first hill. Then the rope snapped. The emergency brake failed. The train rolled backward, fast. It hit a curve, jumped the tracks. 1 car smashed through a wooden fence. 5 children died. 13 others were injured. 1 survivor recalled everything slowing down, watching the brakeman frantically pull the lever. Nothing happened. The investigation uncovered over 50 safety violations. Rotten wood, corroded bolts, no backup systems, maintenance non-existent. 2 men were charged with manslaughter, but acquitted. The ride was torn down. The fair shut its gates in 1974. But the memory stayed. In 2022, on the accident's 50th anniversary, a cherry tree and plaque were placed in the park to honor the 5 children who never made it home. Number 8. Avalanche, Blackpool, Pleasure Beach, roller coaster crash. August 28, 1994. Blackpool, England. The avalanche ride at Pleasure Beach looked smooth, a bobsled-style steel coaster that snaked through curves. That day, 2 trains miscommunicated. One slowed down, the other didn't, and they collided. The crash wasn't explosive. No flips, no derailment. Just a blunt force impact as one train smashed into the rear of the other near the station. 14 riders were inside. 6 taken to hospital. No deaths, but several walked away in shock. First responders reached the scene in 2 minutes. The fault was traced to a miscalculated brake. The second one stopped too hard, too fast. Technicians shut the ride down immediately, and while no bones were broken, the message was clear. Even small errors on big machines carried weight. Brakes needed syncing. Operators needed precision. Because steel didn't rot like wood, but one slip hit just as hard. Number 7. The Human Trebuchet Disaster. November 2002. Middlemore Water Park near Bridgewater, Somerset. A medieval-style trebuchet stood on the grass, ready to launch a human volunteer through the air. A stunt designed for thrill and precision. 19-year-old student Kostadin Dino Yankov took his place. A member of the Oxford Stunt Factory, confident, strapped in, then launched. But Dino flew too short, missed the safety net by inches, crashed into the ground, suffered fatal injuries to his legs and spine. He died in the hospital. The crowd froze. One witness said, "As he hit the ground, I heard a thud. I knew immediately something had gone wrong." It was a tragic stunt, but not the first warning. Earlier that same day, others voiced concern after landing near the net's edge. Even Stella Young, the partner of the trebuchet's designer, had broken her pelvis 2 years prior doing the same thing. She'd warned people it was a very, very dangerous device. And yet, it continued. Number 6. Ride of Steel Tragedy. July 8, 2011. Darien Lake Theme Park, New York. Iraq War veteran Sergeant James Hackemer wanted a day of peace with his family. He chose Ride of Steel, a towering coaster climbing over 200 feet, hitting speeds over 70 miles per hour. But there was a problem. Sergeant Hackemer had lost both legs in combat. And that ride? It had clear safety rules. 2 functioning legs required. Still, no one stopped him. No operator flagged it. The lap bar and seatbelt held his torso, but there was nothing securing his lower half. As the coaster roared down the track, witnesses say his hat flew off. He reached, and then he was gone. Ejected. His body struck the train's front, dead on impact. The ride functioned normally. The operators didn't. That's what the investigation revealed. No safety policy enforcement, no rider check. Afterward, Darien Lake updated signs, retrained staff. Too little, too late. Because the rules existed. The signs were posted, but no one enforced them. Number 5. Jetline Gröna Lund. June 25, 2023. Stockholm, Sweden. Gröna Lund Amusement Park. Jetline, a classic steel roller coaster with sharp turns and fast drops, derailed mid-ride. The support arm under the lead car? It snapped. 3 support wheels came off. And suddenly, the front car wasn't just off balance. It was unhinged. 11 riders on board, 3 thrown from the train. A woman in her 30s died. 1 seriously injured. Others bruised, battered, in shock. What went wrong? The replacement part. Back in 2019, the park ordered a support arm that didn't meet the proper standards. It was too weak. The weld joints were faulty. A reinforcement plate? Missing entirely. Inspections missed it. The operators missed it. Until it broke. The car slammed against the rails. Restraints couldn't hold. Riders went flying. Jetline was shut down. Permanently. One of Sweden's most beloved coasters now silent. Standing like a monument to what happens when maintenance turns to oversight. 1 missing plate. 1 shortcut. And lives changed forever. Number 4. Waterslide in Kansas City. August 7, 2016. Kansas City Schlitterbahn Water Park. The world's tallest waterslide, Verrückt, stood 168 feet tall. The kind of record-breaking ride that drew thrill-seekers from everywhere. On that day, 10-year-old Caleb Schwab, son of a Kansas lawmaker, boarded the 3-person raft with 2 adult women. He sat in the front. As the raft cleared the second hill, it went airborne. It hit a metal brace supporting the net above, and Caleb was unalived instantly. Decapitated. The 2 women behind him were also injured. Broken jaw, facial fractures. And yet the raft's weight was within limits. So how did it happen? Investigators found the slide never followed standard safety guidelines. No helmets, no over-the-shoulder harnesses. The Velcro seatbelts were weak. The netting? Dangerous by design. There had been no state inspection since it opened, no proper oversight. Afterward, Kansas changed its amusement safety laws. Verrückt was dismantled. Schlitterbahn shut down. And the Schwab family received a massive settlement. But that meant nothing compared to what they lost. Number 3. Tsunami derail, M&D's Park, Scotland, June 26, 2016. M&D's theme park in Motherwell, Scotland. The tsunami roller coaster was packed, full of children, twisting above the park on yellow tracks. Then came the unthinkable. At 3:37 in the afternoon, the train jumped the rails. Cars flew into the air. Some flipped. Others slammed sideways. Screams cut through the chaos. 10 people were hurt, 8 of them children. 3 were in critical condition. One boy suffered a serious hand injury. Steel debris crashed down onto a nearby children's ride. 6 ambulances, 6 fire engines. It was disaster in broad daylight. Later, investigators found something that shouldn't have happened. The roller coaster had been repaired with the wrong kind of welding metal. Structurally weak, technically flawed. It was never meant to hold that kind of pressure. The ride was shut down. Permanently dismantled in February 2017. 3 years later, in March 2019, the park was fined £65,000 for safety failures. Number 2. Kenjeran Park waterslide collapse. May 7, 2022, Surabaya, Indonesia. Kenjeran Park. A spiral waterslide, 30 feet high, snapped in half while packed with riders. 16 people were inside the enclosed tube when it collapsed. 8 rushed to the hospital, 3 with broken bones. No one died, but it could have been much worse. So what happened? Officials said the slide was old and overloaded. Too many people went down at once. The support joints gave out. The last maintenance inspection, over 9 months before the incident. And just like that, metal peeled, fiberglass shattered, and bodies dropped from a tube meant to be fun. The deputy mayor ordered urgent checks on every ride in the city. Trauma support was offered. But the truth was simple. The ride failed because no one was checking. It wasn't sabotage. It wasn't mystery. It was wear and tear ignored for too long. Number 1. Dueling Dragons, Object Strike. Orlando's Islands of Adventure opened Dueling Dragons in 1999. 2 coasters that raced each other in synchronized near-miss loops. Ice versus fire. It was a show, until it wasn't. In 2011, the dueling became dangerous. On July 31st, a man riding was struck in the eye by an unidentified flying object. He lost what remained of his vision. He'd already had one blind eye. Just 10 days later, another rider was hit, injuring his face and leg. Both incidents were linked to flying debris, possibly loose items from riders on the opposite train. There were no mechanical failures, no system breakdowns, just the unpredictable chaos of velocity and small airborne objects. The ride's signature feature, trains launched at the same time to simulate a duel, was immediately disabled. The coasters now launched separately. The thrill was tamed. The risk controlled. Dueling Dragons was later renamed Dragon Challenge. But the spirit of synchronized danger, of near misses by design, was gone. Because 2 trains racing inches apart is one thrill. 2 injuries in 10 days? That's a lawsuit waiting to happen. So which one shocked you the most? The ignored warnings, the missing bolts, or the silence before the fall? Could any of these have been prevented? Let us know in the comments. And if stories like this keep you on the edge of your seat, Hit that subscribe button because the next twist might be even darker than you think.